Absolutely. Absolutely. Autism.
Absolutely autism.
Welcome to Absolutely Autism. I'm Amy.
And I'm Janelle.
And I'm Lisa, and today we are going to talk about my children. I have two children. I have a son who is 8 going on 9 who is on the spectrum, and I have a stepdaughter who is 6. So mostly I guess for the sake of this video, we'll talk about my son. And what can I say about my son? He's definitely a character. He's certainly got a personality. He would be the entertainer, I would say.
He's going to make it big in Hollywood someday.
To meet my son would be, he has an impact. He leaves an impression.
Oh, he does. I was actually talking about your son with Adrian, my husband, last night. Just how cute he is with the phone calls. So whenever he leaves school, he always calls, like just recently, he always calls me. And he has little sign-off things, over and out, and have fun with Michael. Like, who's Michael? We worked out the other day.
It was OT.
OT,
yeah. He's got like a little secretary voice, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he did leave a very professional voicemail message.
He did it the other day. I knew what you were talking about when I heard that. He's great, I have to say. He has level 3 ASD. He also has diagnosed anxiety and has recently been diagnosed with ADHD as well. So he's very, very active and energetic. And for a long time, getting him to focus on something for more than 2 minutes at a time was a challenge. Still is a challenge, probably will always be a challenge for his life, but it is something that we're working on and something that we're improving. He has a few sensory issues. Mostly I think they stem towards his anxiety. So he likes to know he likes predictability, he likes... He likes things to be the same. He likes routine. He can be very sensitive to noise and large groups at times. As far as tactile sensory, I'm not sure he's got a great deal. He does like pressure though. He's always liked, the weighted blankets. I remember when he was a baby, he used to push his dummy into his cheek really hard. And when he hugs you, sometimes he'll give you that extra squeeze and it's like you can tell he's getting his like that need for pressure as well.
What's something that you just absolutely love about him?
Everything. Yeah. Absolutely has my heart. I love his personality. He truly has that I don't care personality. It's like, if I want to do it or if I think it's fun, he does not care what anyone thinks. He really does, for the most part, live in the most happiest rose-coloured world. And I just, it's really beautiful to see the world through his eyes. I think he's very happy little boy.
Out the bad stuff, doesn't he?
He does. And it's not that he's not aware of it. There are a few things that he obviously takes on board and stuff, but he just seems to be very unfazed. It's like, well, if like stopping him from doing something he wants to do, he takes it on board. But if there's something happening around him that doesn't actually affect him directly, okay. Yeah. He just gets on with his happy little world, and it's cute, and I love it. I love watching that part of him.
How have you found his relationship with his stepsister?
It was easier at first. I met my stepdaughter when she was 3, so she was quite young, and so they have grown up together, which has helped because she's very understanding and very accepting that her brother is slightly different, and as she's getting older now, we can talk to her about it a bit more and explain, especially when they're playing games and things, why he might not understand something, but she's been great for him. It's been, and I think he's been great for her too, because she was quite shy and a little not so confident with certain things. And being around him, obviously, I think even just on the playground and things like that, he's given her this sense of confidence, and he's sort of passing on that do what makes you happy type attitude, which is great. But it was difficult bringing in another child, one that wasn't my own, and I was really aware of because my son takes a lot of energy and a lot of time and a lot of attention. And so when you're bringing in a new child and wanting them to feel comfortable and happy in your home, I did really have to put time aside to give her my attention and make her feel just as important.
Yeah, especially having the differences with one being on the spectrum and one being neurotypical, that would have presented a few fun times.
Yes. We still to this day, and I think it's always going to be a challenge, why can't I do this when he can, and vice versa. And I think we all know that with children, when you've got a neurotypical and a child on the spectrum, you do have to parent differently, and it is hard to explain. I think because she's younger. So
we have the same problem with my eldest.
Yeah. Oh, do you?
Oh yes. Why does my brother get to do this and I can't? He's allowed to do all that, and I'm not allowed to.
It's really hard to navigate, and now that she's getting to a slightly better age of understanding, we are trying to talk about it a lot more with her, and make her aware that yes, it does feel like that now, but perhaps when you guys are older, there will most likely be things that you can do way before, or if ever, that he can do. Yeah. So trying to make her aware that in time, that feeling will probably shift, and she may be able to drive or do certain things before my son, and so that sort of makes her step back and think, oh, okay.
My time's coming.
I can't wait for that for that day. So we always try and put a positive spin on it if we can.
Yeah.
So.
I'm curious, where when you look at your son, does he have anything that is the word aspirate the right word? Like that he aspires to?
I don't know. At the moment, his short-term goal is to be the crossing monitor, even though his school doesn't have one. He's absolutely determined that he's going to hold that stop sign and let people cross the road. Yeah. So
that's beautiful.
I'm all for making that happen.
Yeah. So if school is watching,
it will be your crossing monitor. Don't give the kid a whistle, please.
I think that's every parent's wish.
But he's very talented from a very young age. He was diagnosed at 2, and from a very young age, he's been really talented with technology, and that's what he's got a fascination for it. He's got a love for it, and he just has a knack for it as well. So I really think if we can learn how to harness that knowledge and that passion, he could quite possibly put that into adulthood.
It's amazing what our kiddos on the spectrum, how they see the world differently.
Yeah. And when they do have a passion, whatever it may be,
they're so focused on it.
Focused on it, and they want to know everything about it, and
the ins and the outs and how it functions and why it does what it does and all of that sort of stuff. Yeah.
That attention to something is just, it's amazing. It's amazing, really. Yeah. So, I don't know. He hasn't said specifically anything that he wants to do yet, but I have a feeling it will most definitely be something to do with technology. Yeah. So Apple, if you're listening, you have a fan.
So, in day-to-day life, there's got to be challenges. What do you find hard to deal with and that sort of thing? Yeah,
I think because he does like predictability and he does like routine, it does make our days very structured, and I need to be very aware of time and preparation. We need to be highly organised in our house. Absolutely, that can be a challenge. And I think with the ADHD and the sensory need for physical movement, that can be hard as well. that for a long time affected his sleep. And just, you could see him struggling. He was mentally wanting to wind down, but physically couldn't. So trying to find that balance for him can be tough, and for myself can be exhausting as well, because I don't have that energizer bunny.
An energizer bunny like him.
So it can be that can be very, very tough. And he does like my attention. He is quite demanding of my attention in a nice way. And that can be a bit of a struggle, I think.
I think it's quite taxing, especially by the end of the day.
Yeah.
When you just want to chill out and they're still going.
Yeah, and he's very, because he was nonverbal up until he was almost 5. So I got a lot of repetitive language as he started to talk, a lot of scripting and a lot of repetitiveness and answering the same question over and over and over again. And we still get that now if he's fixated on something. So just spending the day answering the same question 100 times can be...
Oh, it does your head in by the end of the day. Yeah.
But again, I wouldn't change it for the world, and we have had to adapt. And I have to say, I'm a very organised person now because of it.
I think you would have been an organised person anyway, to be honest.
I am extremely OCD, I won't lie. So to get a child like that,
It's fitting.
it's fitting and it's bound to happen. But yeah, it just makes us very prepared.
Yes.
We're very prepared in our house.
I was always told that we're given the children that we are capable of caring for. That we are the...
Somebody's got a really bad sense of humour.
I strongly believe that the children that we're given are, exactly what we need as well.
I think that's true. I think my son really did change me as a person. I can honestly say he has made me a better person. He has made me see the world so differently and has absolutely made me much more positive in life as well, which I love. I really do love that about him.
Yeah, I think our kiddos definitely make us more accepting as well.
And I did always say I always wanted a child who was funny.
Yeah.
I
got your wish.
have a really crazy sense of humour, so we are very well suited, my son and I. So and my stepdaughter also is quite comical as well. So we make a good team. It's really good. So now you know a little bit more about us individually and our children's journeys. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like all our socials. We are on Instagram, we are on Facebook and YouTube. And share. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.